Ready! Action! Activate! Christmas time! Go, 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 go! Here we come! There they go! People rise! 'Cause they know we're super soldiers! We got cool clothes! You real smooth! And you see our pose! Action! Energize! Mask on! Time to ride! Combine! Grease ties!
Hey, what's up? Welcome to Action Activate. I'm Gazbot. Yeah, and with me as always,
The Big Dawg Defender.
that's right, the Big Dawg Defender. We are here on this lovely holiday season episode. I'm all decked out in the morphing, Christmas spirit, and we're going to be talking about the Power Rangers Beast Morphers final episode of season 1, Scrozzle's Revenge, which is their Christmas episode.
It is.
And what did you want to say about that, Big Dog?
Today is a good episode because we get to reflect back on the good times and the bad times, which is quite fitting for what we're about to jump into.
And I'm laughing, not just because he's going to complain about things, but because I made him say that again. He just
I don't know
literally
what you mean. There's a first time for everything, and it's right now.
All right. Well, the first time for everything is, here we go, Scrozzle's Revenge. So we start off, and I should preface this by saying as you can tell, I love Christmas. I'm a big holiday fan. I love holiday episodes. A bad holiday episode is better than a bad regular episode just because it's a holiday episode, in my opinion.
Sure.
I'm saying if they're both equally bad, the holiday one is better.
Yeah.
Oh boy, you don't necessarily. Okay. Okay. First impressions, I didn't know if it was going to be a clip show. I thought it probably would be, but you never know.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, even if it is, because it started off and it is a clip show for those that don't know. And I actually watched it with Erzuki, and she had missed a few episodes, but she's like, oh, it's a clip show. And I'm like, yeah, but we had a Halloween clip show, and that was really good.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't as good as the Halloween clip show. I will say that at the top.
Halloween clip show? Here. This clip show? Sorry, it's below the camera line.
Wow. Okay. Well, we start off. We see the Beast Bots, and they're all wearing little holiday accoutrements. They have aprons and hats and stuff, and they're making Christmas cookies, and they're doing a bad job of it. They're having fun. And then Devin comes in, and everybody comes in, and they're burning cookies. And again, it's sort of like the typical, hey, it's the holidays, everybody's doing a holiday thing scene. And then Steele pulls out the cookies, and they're smoking. And I thought Zoe did a good job. Like, she was like, oh, I wonder if they smell good. And then she's like, cool, but didn't actually say anything.
Yeah.
So what were your thoughts up to this point? Up to this point, I'm like, this is great. I love it.
So right here, I instantly thought, yes, the Beast Bots are in this episode.
Yep.
Hopefully, they have a positive, pivotal role in it.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting thought. I was just hoping that it would be kind of like the opposite of that episode a while back where the Beast Bots weren't appreciated, and they ended up having to like appreciate them and throw a party. And I was like, oh, hopefully this will just be. We don't have to go through that. They've learned that they should appreciate them, and they're all having a party together, and it's going to be a great Christmas thing, and that's what it looks like is happening, so I was happy about that. And then Steele's like, oh, let's hang out, brother. Maybe we'll meet Santa. And Nate's like, yeah, I'm going to have to take a rain check for no particular reason. I guess Scrozzle's out there, and I got to do something in the lab. And then Cruz is like, oh, Devin, at least we could hang out. And Devin's like, Cruz. I gotta see my father.
I'm busy.
Yeah. And even though my father now knows my secret, yeah, but his dad knows this because Erzuki Q was talking about like, oh, well, it kind of makes sense they have to keep a secret identity. I'm like, yeah, but she didn't see the most recent. I'm like, but Devin's dad actually knows now that he's a ranger, so he could bring Cruz home or bring his dad there. So, okay, well, that's not working out. And then Jack's like, well, at least we're going to hang out together, right? And she's like, yeah, about that. No, sorry, I got to go hang out with my mom. And it's like, well, that's all a bummer, but you figure Smash, the commander is Ravi's father, so this will be fine. He's like, oh, well, at least we could hang out. And Ravi's like, man, no, we can't. I'm going to hang out with family. So, the only one that had maybe an excuse is Zoe. Everyone else either has family that knows their secret, or Nate has no family other than them and his brother who he's blowing off. So I was like a little annoyed, and Airzuki was a little annoyed. We're like, we've made a point of saying the Beast Bots are awesome and we should be nice to them, and here everyone's just like, no, sorry, take your stinky cookies and we're gonna go hang out with real people. So it's
Yep. So right out of the gates,
yeah.
puts sour taste on my mouth. Probably worse than the cookies actually tasted in this episode.
That makes sense. Big Dog Grinch much?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's a giant roller coaster with how they want me to feel about these Rangers. They do positive stuff. I even say nice things about Ravi, and then as a conjoined unit, they all go, you know what? There's nobody really to fight right now. I don't really want to hang out with you guys. You make stinky cookies. I'm gonna have to pass. And the only person that really needs or has an out is Zoe, because her mom doesn't know that she's a Power Ranger. At this point, there's no reason she shouldn't. She was already trusted with their secret identities, and she was going to go public and decided not to. They could easily go, hey, all of us parents can commiserate together because all of our children are in danger all the time. By the way, here's these robots that everyone in the city has seen on a regular basis,
especially
painting a mural, riding a bike, throwing a frisbee at the park. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
At the juice bar. Who cares? Just hang out with them.
And
be nice people.
we don't.
Don't
And
be
here's the thing: the Beast Bots don't necessarily give away their secret identity, because it's not like the Beast Bots run into battle with the Power Rangers. They're inside the Zords where no one could see them. So now there have been a few minor exceptions, like when Cruz flew in and stuff, but for the most part, they're much more visible as just civilians than they are as Power Ranger allies. So I agree with that, but I'll also say, I think you're frozen, aren't you? Okay, you're unfrozen.
Can you hear me?
Yes. I'll also say, as someone, my parents were divorced. Yes, we can hear you. My parents were divorced growing up.
Good, bad, in between?
It's fine, except that you keep asking if it's fine. That part's not fine.
Good-ish?
Goo-goo dish. I think he's regressing. He's regressing to baby talk.
Am I back?
Yeah, you've been back for a while. Can you hear me?
I can now, yes.
Okay, you just basically asked if you were back like 17 times, and we were all like, yes.
I know I did. And I couldn't hear what you said, so I asked again.
Another thing to consider, though, is if they absolutely can't spend time with their family and the Beast Bots for whatever reason, as someone who had divorced parents and who now has in-laws and like a bunch of different families, you know what you do? You spend the morning with one, you spend the night with the other. You spend Christmas Eve with one, you spend New Year's with the other. Like you find ways, we can't see it today, but you know what? Tomorrow we're going to get together and have coffee or whatever. There's ways around it. So it was a bit of a bummer the way it was handled. But we are missing chat. Let's see. Matt Candleclair says, I agree the Halloween episode is better than this Christmas episode. Kyle Goldfinch, mother, not father, Gaz.
Talking about the commander.
Oh, did I say father?
Yeah, and actually.
Or maybe that the mother knows and the father. We don't know what's going on with the father. But yeah, I meant the mother if I said father. Matt Candleclair, I did like the Christmas touch on Jax with the paperish reindeer and antlers. I did too. I thought that was very cute. I liked all of them. And you see like the Santa apron on what's his face? Smash. Let me get back to this shot so you can see what I'm talking about. Boop. See there. And they all had some kind of accoutrement, but yeah, I do agree Jax was maybe the best. And Matt Candleclair, I also like the Santa on Smash. Oh, he said that before I did. I just read it later. The Real Babu, you're good, big dog. Matt Candleclair, guess the Evox virus is still around? Yeah, it is. And it not only does it disrupt transmissions, but it makes him repeat himself over and over and over again. Are you kidding me? Did he freeze again? Yeah, I thought he was kidding. He froze again. I don't believe it. All right, well, we're going to move on because he's... Oh, wait. I think he's back. He needs a better connection. If anybody has any last-minute holiday shopping ideas for the big dog, get him a good internet connection because his is poopy, and it continues to be poopy. Are you there? He's blinking. Now he's faking that he's frozen, or he doesn't realize he's unfrozen. All right, well, I hope if he's faking, he stops because I'm going to move on with the episode. So, there he goes. Man, what the heck? So, Big Dog lives in California, so just send a package of good internet connection to Big Dog, California, care of Action Activate. Cal Goldfinch, he ejected. That would be awesome. I should get a video of him flying out of his seat or like exploding or something so that when he loses a connection, I could just plug that in and he just disappears. Well, getting back to the episode, he could catch up when he gets here. We see... Oh, they get a call. And you hear on the comm a voice we don't recognize. Ravi's like, and he's like, "Oh, Power Rangers," and he's like, "Oh, we'll talk to you later." And the Beastbots and Steel are like, "Well, who is it?" And they're like, "Oh, they get their stories mixed up." So they're like, "Oh, it's about the Zords," and the other one's like, "It's the plumber." And then they're like, "Yeah, it's the Zord plumbers." And Steel, of course, being Steel, is like, "The Zord plumber?" Oh, wait, did I hear Big Dog? No.
Yeah,
Oh,
my Discord crashed, but it seems to be back now.
we can hear you, but we can't see you. Let me switch to a two-shot, see if that fixes it. Nope, you're just a couple little dots. So I'm gonna give you the Big Dog.
I'm here in spirit.
You're
Let me try.
here, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
only voice connected.
only
That's
voice. Yeah, we
probably
can hear you,
why.
but we can't see you. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on you. There you go. You got your little icon back. So feel free to talk. Oh
I'm
wait.
here in
Oh
spirit.
no, we just got you. We just got you. There you are.
Woohoo!
Okay, now we get to see a lovely face. Matt Kendall says Defender should have a name change since he should be Defender Bot since he has lots of connection issues. You do have lots of connection issues. I agree with
Or
that.
I just have a giant cobra tattoo on my back that every time I disconnect slowly goes up toward my neck until the demons get me.
Oh, I
Whoever
see.
knows that Power Ranger reference, please put it in the chat below.
I do, but I will not spoil the game. I will say that it reminds me of the green candle I have that starts going down. It's similar. Oh my gosh, did you just freeze again?
Is it from Yankee Candle, or where do you get a candle like that?
From Pandora's Palace.
Well done.
That kind of clear.
Puns.
Matt Kendall said, nice reference to Lightspeed. Yes, that is correct. Well done, Matt Kendall. You win a no prize. So, getting back to the episode, wow. It's a good thing this is a clip show episode because we're not going to have
We've
time to
talked
talk
about that the whole time.
Yeah.
I know.
So plumbing, and they're like, yeah. Devin's like, yeah. Since we're getting them rebuilt, we figured we'd get like baths put in. And Steel again being Steel, like, oh great, I love it. Nothing more human than taking a bath. So he's totally on board with the bath idea. I
Yep,
thought he was going to say
Steel's
like
the best.
toilets, which would kind of make more sense. But I guess they wanted to be silly. And yes, Steel is the best. So now the Beastbots and Steel are reminiscing of like, oh well, it's a bummer we can't see them, but I guess they get to be with their family, and that's nice. And this leads into the first section of flashbacks to previous episodes. And so so Jack starts talking about Zoe. Zoe's mom's great, and she and then we cut to the episode with the Beast X bikes, and she made them popular and made everybody like them, which is a little bit dubious. She was basically just reporting a story, and because the Power Rangers used them, they got popular. Whatever. The other one though was much better, which is the one we just talked about, where she protected their secret identity, and that was a good example of integrity, and fine. But the first one was like a little bit of a stretch. I think they just wanted two examples. And then continuing the trope, Cruz is like, yes, and Devin's father, even though they didn't always see eye to eye, now they get along and it's great, And so here we go.
It helped him at his car wash job that he got fired from.
Right, but I do like that in the clip you see his dad like, haha, I'm happy with you. I'm gonna spray you with water. And then like a second later, he's like, you're the worst son I've ever. Oh, you disgust me. And it made me remember how many times we see him make that face. Oh, Devin.
No, literally the whole season, it's like, how do you sum up the Red Ranger? Well, he's never not disappointing his father.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's about it.
Cal Goldfinch says, what if Big Dog was actually a robot, and then the internet connection problem is just him becoming more a robot, lol.
What do you mean?
Although there's a flaw in that I'm the Gazbot, and I almost never have connection problems. So I would say he's more organic than ever, because he doesn't have the ability to defend himself from the techno-organic problems and the computer viruses and things.
Don't call me Nathan Summers without actually addressing me by name.
I was thinking more Cypher after he got infected by Warlock. These are Marvel Comics jokes, sorry.
No, you prefer Cypher, I prefer Cable.
I would, okay, we're getting to Marvel Comics. Cable is absolutely the more interesting and popular character. But
I love how I could get you to be like, we're not going off track, but if we are, here's why you're wrong.
Wouldn't you rather? Cypher is a character. He was from the New Mutants. He's a mutant. He's a junior X-Men. His power is kind of lame in the comics. He could speak any language, including alien languages, including computer languages. In the comic, it's not that great. In the real world, I would way rather have his power than Cable's power, which is being infected with a virus and limited telekinesis. And guns
but I
and
heard
shoulder
now
pads.
that actually they made Cypher way cooler in the New Mutants like reboot.
I haven't seen
not
it.
Reboot,
There was the
but...
thing where they had him infected by the techno-organic virus, and he had like more powers and stuff. But this is not interesting to anyone who hasn't read these comics.
Keep looking at the mayor's face. Such disappointment. Back to the clip show.
Okay, Matt Kendall, Steele's humor is better than Betty and Betty's humor. Betty and Ben's. Yeah, agreed. There's no.
It's not slapstick.
No. Oh, again, Ben and Betty aren't in this episode. They weren't. Remember, I was saying they weren't in the Halloween one, which would have been appropriate because it was so goofy. This one is less goofy, but it's weird that they're not in it. And I feel
I didn't
like
even realize.
I did, because jumping ahead, there's a part that Steele does something kind of goofy and a little bit out of character, not completely out of character, but that would have been a perfect opportunity for Ben and Betty to do that because that would be in character for them. But let's get to that. So then the next flashback, of course, is after Devin's father realizes he's the Red Ranger, and he's like, "I've always been proud of you, son. You're the best." And what's awesome, it wasn't in the flashback, but Airzuki had not seen the last couple episodes, and she's like, "Oh, so when when Devin's father finally realized he's the Red Ranger, did he go, I thought you were so irresponsible, and I was so hard on you, and I thought you were the most irresponsible person around, but it turns out I was wrong. You were way more responsible than I ever knew, and I'm proud of you, and I was wrong, and I'm sorry, and I love you, son." I said, that's like exactly what happened.
Yeah,
like word for
almost
word,
verbatim.
almost. Yeah, and it wasn't in the flashback, but I was like, that's impressive. That is really impressive that you got it so on the nose. So that's the end of his flashback, and then Smash, of course, and Ravi too, even when his mom's mad at him. And then Ravi, if you notice, only got one flashback. It's a longer one, but it's all about. It was the same. Well, I guess it was two flashbacks from the same episode, but it was when he went to fight Roxy Avatar, and then she was
Avatar
hurt,
Roxy, yeah.
and it was just sort of like a big long thing, and it shows his mom, the commander, like, "You endangered everyone. This is a bad idea, but I'm still sorry about Roxy," and sort of showed of tenderness. And so they're like, oh, even when they're arguing, they're still, family. And this is
Yeah.
all a way of them consoling themselves that, they're with people that are better than us, and we are so good that we're happy for them instead of feeling bad that we're alone.
Yeah, all of their parents hated them for the last multiple months, but we've been here.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we're alone with our mom. And the other thing that's
Yes.
kind of ironic is Smash probably only had the one memory because any other memory got wiped
Erased.
when.
Didn't they fix that though? I thought they
Yeah, but
yeah.
I mean, it is ironic. It's like, why do you only have one memory? I don't know. And then just flashes back without anybody talking about it of when he's like, oh, nobody can know I paint. Here, let me wipe his memory.
So this is all going on. They just made peace with everything, and then Devin runs in. Holy cow! Scrozzle is back. That fake excuse Nate made up is actually happening. Steele, we need you. Good for Steele. Everyone else can still sit here and not be used, even though
and wallow in their own thoughts.
So that was the credits, and then here's the what is it? Inferno Tron, I think. He's a fire base.
He looks pretty cool.
He does look pretty cool. I kind of wish he had like the full episode instead of being used in this one. I like that his fire is purple, just because it's something different. I also suspect that this Sentai footage is from early in the season.
Yep.
And for a number of reasons. We cut to an American shot because Scrozzle's American only, and he's doing something with Christmas Tree. The Rangers show up, and they're like, let's split up. Nate, you and Steele go after Scrozzle. The three of us will take care of this guy. I think that is part of the Sentai footage because I think it was a fight early on where there was only the three Rangers fighting this guy.
Yep.
I don't know this. I'm just extrapolating. And then all the Scrozzle fight is American footage. And even the way they do the fight as we get into it seems like early fights before they picked up certain techniques and stuff. So they all morph together. Scrozzle, I like a lot of the shots of Scrozzle. They did I don't know, he had a lot of fun, like, ah ha ha, like I had to restrain myself from taking a million screenshots of him. And he's got this crazy Christmas tree gun. I love all this. Makes no sense. I don't care. It's Christmas episode. He's using Christmas evil. That's what I want to see. No problem whatsoever. Did you think it was dumb?
It was, but in an endearing way.
That's fine. Here's what I want. I want a figure of Scrozzle, but I want like a Comic-Con exclusive or a Mailaway exclusive where he comes with like the Christmas tree gun and everything.
I think you could, if you tried hard enough, kind of make one out of weird, like Dollar Tree kind of
decorations,
ornaments or whatever. Yeah,
or you're probably right. Well, once I get the Scrozzle figure, then I'll work on the holiday version.
I mean, it's essentially an umbrella.
I guess I could paint. Well, whatever. We're getting off track. Yes, one could be made pretty easily. You're right.
What do you think about Marvel's X-Men comics?
Shut up. And
I like the wave effect that the star did, by the way.
And it's a Christmas wave effect, too, because it's green and red and then
festive.
Aw.
You only get two.
Okay. McKenna Claire, she must be a psychic. And, yep, Inferno Tron. Never found out who the voice actor was since she was on credit. Oh, that's weird. I wonder why. Usually, especially nowadays, they've been announcing them, like, on social media before the episode even comes out, so that's interesting.
I think because it was so I think because both show episodes were kind of thrown together where they're like, let's go. Where's Ben and Benny? Who cares? We got to make it. Let's go.
Right, but they know who played, like, on set or in the booth, they know who did the voice.
For all we know, it's the director, and he's like, I don't care. Just keep going.
That's true. So he hits him with this beam. What does it do? Turns him into an ornament. Is that stupid? Yes. So what? It's fine. It's a Christmas episode. It's not meant to be super serious. It's Power Rangers. We've seen goofy stuff.
Him, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, fine. Whatever. Why is he doing it? Because Evil Christmas. That's why he's doing it. I don't really have an issue with it. And then Steel's like, no way! I'm going to do something about this. And he pulls out his saber, and I'm like, oh, is he just going to get blasted? And I don't know why I doubted Steel, because he immediately deflects every shot that's shot at him, in an awesome way. And then
that's a great screenshot, by the way.
Let me go back to it.
The big old energy effect that looks like a translucent ornament.
Yes, yeah. It would be kind of cool if there was a way to hit someone with that and it turns them into like Gokai Christmas or something. Like you just blast him and like, woo, I'm Christmas morph now.
Oh, if it hit him and he looks at himself kind of like Betty was in the last episode where she was all stretchy and it just like flickers for a second, Gokai Christmas.
Yes, that would be amazing.
And then it's like, oh, and then you go in the tree.
That would be pretty amazing.
Festive.
That was like 5.
Well, he deflected a lot of them.
You said a number earlier, and now you've broken your own number.
Well, sorry that Steel is better than
You're
me
not
in combat.
sorry. Or sorry. I said
I'm
sorry.
neither.
But he blocks like 2 or 3 shots immediately, and then Scrozzle's like, and at first I thought he was like, it's jammed, which would be annoying, but he's like, I'm out of more effects, which I like, because that's consistent, and it makes sense. So he's like, but I have more. Tronics, which establishes that even though Evox is gone and Blaze and Roxy are gone and the cyber dimension's all messed up, wherever Scrozzle is based out of, which we don't know, he still has access to Tronics. I'm guessing he makes them, so there's some amount of force somewhere that exists beyond just Scrozzle. The Tronics come in, and Steel just is having no trouble smashing them to pieces, and he's just one-man armying them, which is great, because Steel should be the strongest, other than maybe Ravi when he's powered up. And so now we see back to this fight with the red flame, and Devin jumps in, and then the 3 of them show up. And this is part of why I think it's an older episode. Again, there's just the 3 of them.
It's confirmed by Matt Kendall-Clare.
Oh, is it? I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Yes, he was an early monster in Go Busters. Thank you, Matt Kendall-Clare. Okay, Well, I'm glad that my deductive reasoning worked out.
Well job, sir.
Yes, thank you. So they start off doing a lot of martial arts attacks, which again, and no weapons, which again usually is sort of something they start early on, and then power creep starts. And so, I did like this. I didn't get a good screenshot of it, but Zoe jumps on top of him and punches him real fast like that, which is also known as rabbit punches. In fighting. Yeah, so I thought that again, that was like a clever way for her to attack using the, it's kind of a pun more than the way rabbits really attack, but still. So now Devin pulls out a gun, so this should end it.
Yes, I loved this part.
He pulled out a gun, which should end it, and then they shoot at him, and then Ravi's like, I'll pull out a sword, and we're like, okay, I guess. So
it was the weirdest logic. He's like, shoot at him. He's like, now that he's distracted, I'm going to get really close and fight him with a sword.
It did not make sense.
What?
Yeah, so they're shooting him and they're not killing him, but they're doing some damage. And he comes in with the sword. He hits him with a couple solid hits, putting himself in more danger, like you said. I don't know why he'd do that. But the sword doesn't do anything. And so Devin's like, well, we need guns to win the day, so I'm going to make a combo gun, which we've only seen him do one other time.
The cannon, yeah.
Yeah, and so he does that, and that blows him away. And we see also this readout, which again is something we saw a lot earlier in the season that we didn't see much later on. So a lot of these was what clued me in. But then the gun does save the day, blows him up, and he's gone. And I think we've talked about this before, but they're looking at the blast, or at least Devin is, and probably because they have sunglasses built into their helmets.
Yep.
Yeah, which I love.
And it's because he was the second monster in Go Busters, according to Matt Kendall-Clare.
Well, that doesn't mean that's why they look at him. Usually,
they don't know. They're still so mesmerized. They're like, "Oh, that's pretty cool."
No, but
whereas by like the 15th monster, it's like,
no, that's not what I'm saying. Most action heroes and most Power Rangers, there's an explosion, and they turn away from the explosion. In this season, we've seen a lot of times they look at the explosion. Even the Zord once or twice looked at the explosion. And my in-universe reason is that they have protection, and so they can afford to look instead of getting a glare in their eye.
No, don't argue with me.
Don't argue with you? What show do you think you're on?
Hey, new year, new me. We're going to go into January, and it's going to be like, you know what? There's no need to argue. We can have differences of opinion. It's fine. Please move on with the plot and don't get distracted.
I will argue with you that won't happen.
It's fair. I'd put my money on you.
Okay.
Good odds.
Matt Candleclair says, in fact, just to add a bit more, that he was actually.
I
you
literally
said that.
just said this.
I didn't know the first part.
Come
I'm
on,
sorry.
man. I'm trying to help you out. Mix up the formula a little bit and not read it verbatim, but paraphrase and let people feel directly involved in the conversation. And what did you do? You took out all the festive.
Yes, I put it in me. Matter of fact, I'm gonna set my festive to level 2.
You have to zip up the
There we go.
onesie so you're extra festive.
Well, I got a White Ranger shirt, so I'm keeping it Power Ranger too.
Oh, I have not one. I have a Bad Habit shirt on. I don't know if you can see it.
That's a toy
Shout out
collecting
Bad
group.
Habit on
Yeah,
Facebook.
you can find them on Facebook. Hector, good peoples. So they get a call from Steele. And the reason I left this in, he's like, I need help with Nate. They've done something to him. But what I love is he's in the middle of a fight, and they always like get the calls in the middle of a fight. But you actually see him like get kicked in the head. He's like, Nate, needs help. Yeah, I thought that was a nice touch. So so far, aside from it being a clip episode, which isn't great, and aside from them being a little bit of a jerk to the Beast Bot, I don't have a lot bad to say about this episode. I'm kind of enjoying it at this point.
I think the biggest disappointments in the clip episodes
Mm-hmm.
that we've agreed upon is they have the cooler monsters, and so much of it we're like, I really wish I could see more. That fight was cool with the flame. Oh, that was a really cool sword fight that
Agreed.
they did. And
Yes. Agreed, but that doesn't make it. Leaving us wanting more is a good thing.
The biggest issue I had with this episode was the American footage of the Rangers not morphed being jerks to their best friends, supposedly the Beast.
I agree, and I acknowledged that a second ago. But I'm saying, other than that, it's been a pretty decent episode. And again, not as good as Halloween, but better than your average clip episode, I think.
Correct.
Okay, so Steele's over here, like just being a boss, taking them all on. They show up with their guns, though, fire their guns, and immediately everyone's destroyed. Because again,
I know another thing. It's like, come on, guy, really a one shot? I know it's a clip show and we're short for time, but come on.
I mean, I would have rather Steele did a quick would have been awesome. They're like, we're here to help, and he's like, don't need it, and he does like a quick spin with his sword and like takes the rest of them out or something. That would have been cool.
Wish all of them use swords, and then everybody slashing same time. 4 guys slashing. Oh man, and a lady. And then everybody kind of disappears together.
My
version's better.
No, in this case,
my version.
I want to see Steele just because they set him up to be so awesome, and then he didn't get to like have the finishing move. You know what I mean? He didn't get to do the fatality. They stole from him. He got them all down to 1 hit point each, and they're like, and
they were camping.
They took all the experience. So anyway, they wipe them out. And so they run in, but not realizing what Scrozzle is doing, and Steele's kind of like, wait a minute, and he gets Zoe and Devin with 1 blast, which again I think is just for time's sake to like move it along. Yeah. And he's like 2 with 1.
I did like how they acknowledged it though.
That he said 2 with 1. You mean?
Yep.
Yeah, I agree, and he's all proud of himself.
Wait, so what happened with that beam?
What do you mean?
Festive. Twice.
Okay. I'm in. I can't pretend to be mad at festive.
We have to do it every time. It's a rule.
You keep changing the rules.
Yeah, words have no meaning on a planet under the cave before.
The war
Let's see what chat says. Matt Candleclair, Gazbot and Defender always have to argue. It's an action activate rule. See? There's rules. He also said, oh, I know what you were talking about with the part that should have been for Ben and Ben. Yeah.
It's obvious if you've seen it, but it's coming up. So he sucks him in with his beam, his festive beam. And then this is an awesome Ravi part, though. And this is like, I guess, I was going to say it's early season, but no, because it's American footage. Because it reminds me of the Han Solo in Empire Strikes Back, where he's like, whoa, Darth Vader, and just shoots before he knows what's going on. Because he's like, I've got them. And Rock's like, anyway, shoot. Like, he's like, shut up, I'm shooting you. Like, I thought that was awesome and appropriate. Yes?
Just because the theme of the season, it's just like, shoot first, ask questions later.
And
literally shoot first, and then, what are we going to do? This is all
weird. That's the theme, and the other theme is that Ravi got progressively better as the season went on.
No, that's not the theme.
You don't think we've established Ravi gets progressively better, and this is an awesome...
From episode 1 to this episode, He's better, but it's been a very tumultuous ride.
He has gotten progressively better over the course of the season.
I didn't throw up on the roller coaster, but I'm not feeling good, and I probably need to lay down.
Well, I don't know why you're fighting this so much. If we've had this discussion. You've agreed that he's gotten better over time. And this is an awesome moment he's having, which is the end of season 1.
Okay.
Yeah, Ninja Steel!
If we agree on everything, then nobody's gonna watch anymore games.
I was trying to get you to agree with yourself from a previous episode.
I don't even want to agree with myself.
thought it
Myself's probably wrong.
It was a fight we already had and was done. Like you're just trying to have it again. Anyway, so he blasts him, and then Steel, equally being like proactive, was like, "Take this," and he actually goes yoink, which I thought was hilarious. So Steel, yes, doing good comedy. Scrozzle's like, well, I have more to my plan, and he disappears. And so now you're right. They have to ask the questions of like, how are we going to get everybody back? What are we going to do? And Steel's like, well, I think I could figure it out and fix it. I've been watching Nate, and like, yeah, you could do it. Ravi's a little bit like, are you sure? And he's like, come on, I'm an expert with this stuff. And of course, a second later,
oh my god,
blasts Ravi.
So dumb.
This was a dumb part, and this is the part, yes, Matt Ken O'Clair, that should have been for Ben and Betty. Because they could have come in and tripped and fell, or thought they had it right, or done something, you know.
Literally just like, boop, oh!
Yes. Steel is goofy and overconfident, but he's not dumb, and he's not klutzy. When he fails, it's usually because he's good enough to take on 5, but there's 10, or, you know, he's overestimates his abilities or whatever, but he is very good. So this was kind of dopey that happened. And I know science isn't his thing, but he's literally just like, ha ha ha, like playing with it, which... Again, fits Ben and Betty, but not Steel. So that kind of bummed me out. Yep. And then, of course, I like what Robbie's like, you're lucky I'm in here. Because he's mad. And rightfully so. He literally warned him, like, be careful. And then he got turned into a Christmas ball.
I think it would have been better if it was pointing at Ravi on the table. Mm-hmm. He tinkers with it, trying to actively do it. Yes. Then it goes off and gets him.
I agree. Because then, oops, I hit the wrong wire or something. As opposed
to,
like,
no, Steel.
Yeah, this was more like he was playing with a gun, basically.
It literally was that. Yeah. It was 100%. For all of you out there, don't do that.
No.
If you ever, you know.
And one more reason why Ben and Betty should never get guns, because, I mean, Steel is better than them.
You dare.
Anyway, moving on.
They're not even in this episode. Leave them out of this. They can't even defend
They were
themselves.
already left out of it. So Steel is like, now he's all despondent. He's like, I don't know how to do this. I was a fool. What was I thinking? And Ornament Nate's like, no, buddy. Remember? And now we get into Flashbacks part 2. God. He's like, remember when we got attacked and there was a duplicate of you and you helped me rebuild the computer so we could launch the Zords? And he's like, hey, I did do that. Right after he gets his confidence back, we get a call from Commander Shaw. Hey, there's a Gigadrone landed. We need somebody to go get him. But all the Rangers except for Steel are out of capacity, incapacitated rather, and Steel's got to help fix it. So they're like, oh, she goes, the Zords are ready too. And so Steel goes, you know what that means? And they're like, yeah. And he's like, the baths are installed. Which, again, great Steel movie.
Totally on brand. That's fine.
Yes, totally on brand. But they're like, you know, oh, you guys, you Beastbots, you have to pilot the Zords because we're all in here. You guys could do it. And they're like, no, we can't. How are we going to do that? What are we going to know how to do? And now we have Ornament Ravi like, guys, you could do it. Smash. Remember that time you saved me? Oh, yeah, I did save you. I forgot. I guess I'm good. And then Devin's like, yeah, Cruz, and remember that time you saved me? And Cruz is like, oh, yeah, Devin, I did save you. I guess I'm good. And then Zoe's like, Jax, remember when you saved me? And Jax is like, oh, yeah, Zoe, yeah. I got tired of doing voices.
I will say, Jax's was arguably the best out
Agreed.
of all.
Oh, yeah, his was the most proactive. Well, Jax is the best.
Because he had to be actively bait.
Yes,
and then
it was his
really
plan.
Bad.
Yeah, no, his was the best. But it was, again, the same thing where just, like, believe in yourself. And so they go off to do it, and then Steel's like, and you're getting what you wanted, where they are crucial to the plot. This is what you said in the beginning. You wanted to see them be a big part of it.
It adds insult to injury, where literally before all this went down, they're like, I can't even tell you why I don't want to hang out with you. And then it's like, I'm trapped in a Christmas tree. You're my favorite person, and here's why.
Right.
And that's the part I didn't like. All of the flashbacks were, hey, remember when they were kind of bad people, but their parents were all right? Yeah. Hey, remember when you guys saved us because we were kind of bad at you? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just all just
I know, but you are
like,
getting what you wanted, but it's like that poisoned, like soured taste of what you want.
Because that's the thing. I've never had anything bad to say against the Beastbots. And every time I'm like, I like the Rangers for the most part until you make me not like them.
Right. True. Yes. All the actors are charismatic, like on a baseline. And then you make them do things we don't like.
All of them have the ability. Like, I'll give Ravi's actor, I forget his name off the top of my head, full props where, they show that he has the ability, but like most episodes are just like, hey, so be like this plank of wood and just say the words.
I think season 2 is going to be a big litmus test for a lot of that stuff because Ravi's gone through a lot, and now he's got his girlfriend back, and so like all the characters, they've gone through this, and season 2 they should start where they are now and build upon that. If they set them back to season 1, that's going to be a huge mistake. So hopefully they did. I know most of it's already filmed, so hopefully they did it right. But so Steel is tinkering with the thing while they go out to fight. And we see the Gigadrone has the Inferno Tron markings, which again we know there was like a full episode. Scrozzle's piloting it. We know this is American footage because he wasn't in Go Busters, but it's cool, kind of like Blaze piloting. Like, yeah, why not? He's piloting it now because it's kind of end of days and he's got to throw everything he's got. I love this scene where the suit actor. I think this is a practical effect. It just looks like they're spraying gasoline and lighting it on fire, like and it looks like the most fun thing ever. And they're just like, now light the set on fire. Like if it's CGI, maybe it's enhanced with CGI, but it looked really good and really fun. The only thing is, it should have been purple. But I don't even care just because it looked so fun. Like I would love to do that. So now we see Cruz coming in with the Razor Sword, running through the fire, and he's calling the shots. He's like, I'm gonna fight him. You guys evacuate the civilians. So like immediately they're doing a good job. They're doing just like what the Rangers would do. And we see, but this was weird that we see them all communicating, and we just see them without the Rangers, which makes sense. But it just felt odd because usually it's intercut with the Rangers. So he turns into the Cheetah. Another clue that this is an early season 1 because he did the Cheetah a lot more in the beginning than later on. And he's kicking butt. Then we see Jack dropping like foam or water or whatever to put out the fire. They don't explain where he got it from. I'll allow it. He got it from somewhere. It's a built-in function, whatever. And then Smash is like, I'm going to evacuate everyone. I'm like, how's he going to do that? And then they show the scale. He's like, all the people trapped in their cars are going to get onto him. Fine. I'm sure there are other people that need to be evacuated, but he's doing his best, And then there's some, what do you call the little small guys, like Gigatronics, I guess?
Oh, yeah.
I think they're Gigatronics. Yeah. And he pops 2 of them out, and Cruz is like, I didn't sign up for this, and so I thought he was gonna ask for help or form the Megazord. But no, he's like, I didn't sign up for this, but I'm gonna go kick butt anyway. And he rips them both apart without Devin, mind you. Now, in Go Busters, I assume that the Rangers are in there, maybe not. But, and then he's like, also, by myself with one Zord, I'm gonna take the full blast of this fire and just power through it. Now, here's a part that I both love and hate coming up. Do you know why?
Enlighten me, Gas.
Before I do, let's check chat. Real Babu, going back to what we were saying, says, but that would prove you shouldn't give Ben and Betty a weapon. Ninja Steel point for me. That is Ninja Steel. I'm taking it.
There's collusion there. I don't trust it.
Matt Kenneth Clare says, wasn't a fan of the Beastbots saying they couldn't do it on their own since they've done it before. I agree, and it was just a trope to give us a reason to have flashbacks, and a little bit of a pep talk I wouldn't mind. They definitely exaggerated it and had like them Cruz kind of forgetting because he's set up to be kind of a scatterbrain makes sense, but Smash forgetting didn't make sense because he's not set up to be that kind of character. And Matt Kendall Clare said, correct with Gigatronics. Thank you. Okay, so what I like and don't like about this is he comes in, Cruz does, and he uses, I forget what he calls it, the cheetah blade or whatever, and he blasts through. This is the attack that normally needs the cheetah beast blaster to use. So I love that he didn't need it, and he just powered up his sword and used it like a sword and cut him down. And this is an awesome screenshot that I love of the explosion. What I don't love is this proves that we don't need the Cheetah Beast Blaster. Ever. We don't need it. Cruz alone, without a ranger, without the other swords, without any help whatsoever, was like, here's the sword, boom, gotcha. No Cheetah Beast Blaster. No Devin. Unnecessary. It makes me think that they're just like, hey, here's a fun thing you could do, Devin. Do this. It'll make you stronger. And it means nothing. It's just like, I like this cool helmet. I like pulling the trigger. Like treating him like a child.
Ninja Steel.
What? For what? For what?
That we said that it's worthless. And
all right, fine. Okay, yeah, fine. We both get a Ninja Steel, but I don't like it. Another cool screenshot that it's hard for me to enjoy.
Yeah, it's really good.
So they get back. We cut back rather, and we see all the Rangers talking to Steel and like, oh boy, you figured it out. We believe in you. And he does the festive. Now you're not doing. There you go. Okay, and he brings them out, and they're fine. And they're like, whoa, we have arms. We can move again. We're shocked to be here. It's great. And they're like, you saved the day. But they're like, but you know who really saved the day? The Beastbots. You guys did it. You stepped up. You saved the whole city. Cruz being very modest, like, we just did what you would do, which is kind of true, and that's fine.
They just add we're not sad. We're just disappointed.
Right.
the whole time. Like, if you were here and liked us, we would have done this with you. But I guess we have to do it alone because you're awful.
Except at this point, Devin's like, yeah, and they're like, well, I guess you'd be going to your family. And Devin's like, actually, I think we're going to hang out with you. And they're like, what? But you all had plans. And they're like, we do, but it was a secret plan for you. And then you hear, shh, and you see these dramatic boots coming in. Who is it? Is it the Ultimate Red Ranger? In a way, it's Santa! The real Santa Claus who Steele wanted to meet. And he had been excited about going to the mall to the North Pole, to the fake North Pole at the mall. Now he finds out he gets to go to the real North Pole, and he goes, that's my favorite pole! And Santa agrees. It's his favorite pole as well. So all of the jerkiness in the beginning was subterfuge because they did appreciate the Beast Bots and Steel, and they wanted to give them the best Christmas ever by taking them to see the North Pole with the real Santa, which is who called in the beginning. Why they had to be like, oops, nothing, Santa. Does this not make you happy?
I feel like, and this is me being cynical,
Oh boy.
that Nate totally did this. Is the equivalent.
Oh no.
Nate
Oh,
bought
no.
them a present, and everybody else wrote their name on the card.
Why do you think this is all Nate's doing?
Because Nate is brothers with him.
Yeah.
Totally fine. Everybody else has been way jerkier to their Beast Bots all season, so I don't believe it as much.
Wait, so the way I read the first scene is they have a plan to go to hang out together on Christmas, go to see Santa at the North Pole, the best thing you could possibly do. They pretend that they can't do it to make it like a surprise party.
Yep.
Then at the end, they reveal the surprise. Hooray, we were fake jerks. It's going to be great. That's how I see it. Explain to me what you're saying that you see differently.
I think the other Rangers were legit jerks. I think Nate had that idea.
You think that Nate had that plan and the others were going to ditch them. Then after they got saved, they're like, yeah, us too.
Possibly.
That is super cynical, and I think you're wrong.
That I went into it saying it is quite
I didn't
cynical.
believe. I can't believe. Yeah, no. Shame on you.
Fun
Shame
fact,
on
though,
you.
is that the same Santa Claus we saw in Dino Charge?
I think so.
Looks really familiar.
Yeah. Was he in Ninja Steel as well? The Poisey
didn't-
show? Oh no, the Poisey show would have been Dino Charge.
I
I didn't look it up. Maybe somebody could check it out for us, Matt Claire or someone. But oh wait.
Yes, that's the same Fresno Bob RPM reference.
Oh.
Santa Claus we've seen in the past few series. Yay,
Nice. I love it. Which
right.
also explains.
Ninja Steel.
Yes. That also explains why the Rangers might have a connection to Santa or vice versa, because he's already known how to call them in other seasons, and we've established that.
Ooh, how about this? This is a deep tinfoil hat theory. What if Santa is the equivalent of a Mixer Pitlick from DC Comics, where he can go between the dimensions, and that's
absolutely.
why he's all the Rangers?
Absolutely. I mean, of course he could travel through dimensions. He's Santa Claus.
Okay, just making sure.
That's not even tinfoil hat. I mean,
Stop agreeing with me. I wasn't expecting that.
I will say, well, let's finish out the episode because we only have like one more slide, and then there they go off to the North Pole. I didn't like it like objectively as much as the Halloween episode, but as a Christmas episode, I liked it, and I thought the stuff in the beginning where they were jerks was all resolved at the end. And unlike you, I thought it was always just fun surprise party, and I like Christmas, so I liked this episode.
I like Christmas too.
Okay.
The episode was fine.
What I was gonna say is, while I was doing like decorating the house and doing other things, I was like, oh, let me check out the other Christmas episodes I haven't seen, because I've seen all of the Neo Saban because I've been watching them as they've been coming out, and I was like, I know they had some earlier ones, and I went back. You know, one that I haven't seen since it was out is the Alpha's Magical Christmas whatever that was on a VHS only. It's not on Netflix, and I know my brother had it and I watched it back in the day, but I haven't seen it since, so I don't know.
I think I watched it as well.
But I don't really remember much about it. I know it's not canon now, whereas the others are. And so there's a Christmas episode for like season 2 or 3 of Mighty Morphin, and then there's one for like Zeo. And there's like two or three episodes in that era, and then nothing until Samurai. I did not realize that.
Yep.
Right. And I was like, wow, I thought I just missed them or skipped them or something, but that's crazy because now we've had one like every season, sometimes 2 per season, or 2 per team, I should say. But like, yeah, and I was almost gonna say, well, now that Saban got it back, because that's where it started again. But no, Saban stopped doing it too. So I wonder why they've leaned so heavily into it. Maybe it's Nickelodeon is pushing it. I don't mind. I like the holiday episodes, but I thought there was going to be a ton to go through. I'm like, let's see what our favorites are. And I'm like, oh, all the recent ones and then like 3 old ones.
I think what the problem was is it's either a clip show or totally self-contained and doesn't mean anything. And
Right.
a lot of times the people behind the scenes are probably like, we already got our clip show in, or we don't need one, or we have to get a lot of
But
like
even
crazy stuff just for this.
they
I don't
could
know,
even just
man.
do a regular episode, like a normal we're fighting the monster kind of episode. But when they're back at their home base, they have Christmas decorations up. And when it ends, they always
Yeah.
have an ending of like, oh, well, those were good cookies or whatever. Those were good Christmas cookies. Or hey, you did a good job on the test. Oh, I like your present. Just like make the B plot be Christmas. Doesn't have to be, it's just odd that they don't. Well, whatever. And I mean, you could do Hanukkah, you could do other holidays too. I'm not saying it has to be Christmas, but just the
Oh, they
holidays.
did a holiday episode for Zio that
Yes,
wasn't just
I
Christmas.
just watched it where they talk about Hanukkah and,
Kwanzaa.
and Kwanzaa, and then the thing that King Mondo makes them all become intolerant of each other's beliefs and stuff. I actually really liked that episode. It had a good message. Like I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But my point is that not addressing it at all seems odd, considering it's a kid show and they usually have holiday specials for kids and whatever. And I like them, so I
Yeah.
wanted more. And I was bummed when I went back to find them, and I was like, oh, there's only like 3 I haven't seen. So let me
I
see.
haven't seen, I think, 2 or 3 also.
I've seen all except for I've seen alphas, but I'm gonna say I haven't because I don't remember it. That's like I'm not counting that.
I for sure have seen it. I don't recall.
Mechanical nice theory, Gaz. Thank you. And nice DC reference Defender. There you go. Real Babu. Just don't make Santa say his name backwards. And Mechanical said, Steve, good one and nice reference. For those that don't know, Mr. Mixelplick, or however you say his name, the only way to get rid of him is to make him say his name backwards, which was like Kippleskim. So if Santa says his name backwards, I guess he goes back to the North Pole and is stuck there until he gets his power back or whatever. So all that being said, we're coming towards the end of the Twitch stream and the middle
Yep.
of the YouTube show. But
Yep.
at the party my Christmas party you were at this weekend, I gave you a package from Mr. Steven Drino,
You
the real
did.
Babu.
Let me go get it.
And he's gonna go get it. Steve gave this to me at Ranger Stop, and he told me to give it to the big dog and not to open it until he was on the air. So it's not wrapped or anything, but he's gonna come back having not looked at it, and we will see his impression of whatever it is live on air. Do 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 do. I don't know what that is. I don't even know what the song that is. What's your favorite Christmas song? I have a lot. I go back. I really like Dominic the Donkey. I mean, I like all the classics, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and stuff. I also really like the Hanukkah song, the Adam Sandler song. My stepfather used to get mad because I'd say it was one of my favorite Christmas songs. He's like, "It's not a Christmas song." I'm like, well, you know what I mean, a holiday song. He's like, "But it's about Hanukkah. You're not Jewish." I'm like, whatever. It's a fun song. Like, I don't care. I like holiday songs. I'm all inclusive. But yeah, I like the Hanukkah song from Adam Sandler. I like Dominic the Donkey. I like the Snoopy and the Red Baron song. There's a song by the Waitresses, I think. It's like an 80s song where it's all about Merry Christmas, but I think I missed this one this year. That one always gets me nostalgic. Let's see, Matt Kendall Clare. Oh, wait, I missed one. Real Babu says, chickadee chick, yeehaw, yeehaw. Yep, that's Dominic the Donkey. Matt Kendall Clare says, this will be interesting, and my favorite Christmas song is Rudolph, a classic. I love Rudolph, too. I like Dominic a little bit better only because I don't hear it as much, I think, because like I loved Rudolph. It was probably my favorite as a kid. And then I never heard Dominic the Donkey until I was like a teenager, and I was like, whoa, this is like a whole new Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I love it. What's funny is when I played it for Erzuki, she did not like it. And I was like so hurt. I'm like, you don't like it? And she's like, well, I just heard it so much as a kid. I'm like, I never heard it as a kid. So I kind of won her over with it. Wow, it's a good thing I decided to talk about songs. Apparently the big dog is going into the black hole to find. Oh man, imagine if he lost it. Wow. All I could say is I definitely gave it to him. So if he lost it, that's on him. I brought it back from Orlando to California safely. Let's see. Real Babu says Christmas Time again by Extreme. Oh yeah, that was pretty good too. I like the ones that are more contemporary, like pop rock ones, and then I like the old classics, and then I also like anything Brian Setzer. Like Brian Setzer Orchestra has put out like 3 albums of Christmas songs, and some of them are originals, and some of them are just like swing rockabilly versions of classics, like Run Run Rudolph and stuff. That's another Run Run Rudolph. I like that one a lot. But yeah, any modern take on an older song I probably like. That kind of Clara said Defender probably buried it. He probably did. Real Babu, also Father Christmas by the Kinks. Yeah, that's a good one too. Father Christmas, bring me some money. Something I've been enjoying. I like punk music for those that don't know. And Bad Religion put out a Christmas album a couple years ago of like traditional Christmas songs, and I really dig it. Oh, he's back. He found it.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
fun story. Apologies for the wait.
Yep.
So I went to where brief backstory. So there was a white elephant aspect of Christmas party at Gaz's house, Gaz and Arizuki's house.
Yep.
And I thought that the picture was with our white elephant gifts because that's how I brought it back. But what
To be clear,
actually
wait. To
have
be
it.
clear, you're saying picture. You're assuming it's a picture because it's flat. You have not looked.
Sorry, whatever it is. I'm assuming it is a picture. You're correct. I haven't opened it. I
Okay.
don't know what it is. So I thought it was with that.
The white
so
elephant
I
stuff.
ran around for a little bit. Turns out I actually planned ahead a lot better than I thought because it was mere inches in front of the computer.
Oh, you had it ready and forgot.
And then I looked because it's just totally white, blended in.
Yep.
And so now,
All right, hold on. Let me give you one shot.
this is all I know. This is all I know right now. Let's see.
He's opening it up.
Slowly but surely,
Christmas magic is happening.
tension builds.
And
It is a picture. I knew it. Oh God.
Did he sign
First
it
of
to you?
all, he did.
Oh, that's
First
so
of all,
sweet.
thank you very much. Second of all, I'm sure both of you are in on this.
Share with
joke.
the class. Share with the class.
To Big Dog.
Oh, how nice.
Woof woof.
Yeah.
Operation Overdrive is the best. Woof woof.
Oh, it's so
Babu,
nice.
Steven Drino.
Oh.
Thank you very much. We may have differences of opinion on Operation Overdrive.
Right, whereas you
but
think it's the best, and he still said it's the best, even though he doesn't believe that, just to be nice to you for Christmas.
it's
That was so
written
nice.
in Sharpie, so it must be permanent.
It is permanent.
Thank you very much. This is awesome. I'm going to put this with my other Ranger photos that I have. So
That's
this is really
awesome.
cool.
And
Thank you again.
yes, and Steve did give me a signed one too. Well, actually, that's not technically true. I did not plan ahead, and I don't have mine with me. But Steve did sign one for me as well, except he forgot to write his name. He gave me a nice little inscription, and then he said Babu, and that was it. No Steve, no Andrino.
Keep it anonymous.
Yeah, well, I mean Babu, I guess. Whoever played
That
Babu.
can be only one.
If I remember, I'll bring it for next show to show you guys. It was pretty funny. But yeah, so thank you for that, both
Well,
for
thank you.
for
Yeah,
mine
that's awesome.
and for his. Let me check chat. Let's see what we got here. Matt Kenneclair laughing at Defender. Real Babu, you're quite welcome. Happy birthday, Merry Christmas. And Matt Kenneclair said that's something I would do. Looking for something and it'd be right in front of me, and that was nice of you, Babu. Yeah, it was very
Literally
very
like less than a foot away.
cool. It also worked out too because I've had that for a while, but I haven't seen you till just now. So it is kind of a Christmas birthday present.
Well, it was another thing too, where as I got next to the computer, in my head, I'm like, oh God, how am I gonna?
Oh, because you thought you lost it.
No, it wasn't. It for sure wasn't lost.
You thought you lost
Well,
it in the short term where you wouldn't have it for the show.
misplaced. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, oh, what am I gonna say? And then literally right here, and just biggest sigh of relief.
That's amazing. Real Babu, Gaz, bring yours to Power Morph kind of finish signing. I gotta be honest. I don't know if I want you to finish signing it. I kind of love that you messed it up a little bit. I'll bring it so I can make a decision, but I might rather get another one like signed properly. But I kind of like the story that you forgot to sign your own name.
I like it as well.
But either way, I'll bring it, and I will hopefully see you at Power MorphCon. The tables haven't gone on sale yet, so
They
nothing's-
did. Speaking of Power MorphCon and guests,
Okay.
they did announce their first official guest.
Did they? I did not see that.
Will be there Saturday and Sunday, Labor Day weekend 2020. Mr. Drumroll, please.
Wait, let me
Gonna be
guess.
talked about in the YouTube video
Let-
portion of this later. Jason David Frank.
Oh, that was my guess.
I know.
So that's
everyone's
yeah, that's a good one. I hope that means that Austin St. John will be there and not just Friday like last time, because that's what happened last time. Is he was
Could
just
be
there.
Thursday, Friday.
Okay, yeah. And again, I don't want to get into the whole thing because there's been the whole rumors that they don't get along, whatever. I don't know the truth. I don't care what differences they have with each other. I've met them both. They've both been nice to me. I just wish they would be in the same room at the same time. I don't even care if they talk. I don't care if they're at the same table. Just so everyone could stop making a thing of it, and just so that Saturday they're both going to be there. No big deal. They don't even have to interact if they don't want to. Like I can't think of anyone in the world I hate so much that I couldn't sit in a building with on the same day to make money.
I know
and meet
somebody that
fans.
you can't sit in the same room with except for once every 3 months.
You?
He's on the other side of the screen. Hopefully I pointed the right way.
That's the right. Yeah. But yeah, so no, that's a good guess, and it's a strong one to open with, and it's kind of expected that you would have either him or Austin at least. Hopefully they have both. I'm curious to see because a lot of the other Rangers from New Zealand have been coming out for Ranger Stop and for
Mhm.
Morphicon Express, and so a lot of the ones that have been like rare are becoming maybe not so rare, and like I'm
Yeah.
really curious to see who shows up. Hopefully they'll have Johnny Young Bosch now that he's gonna be working on the Immortal Red Fox officially. I mean we said this before, but
Yeah.
now it's like out there in the world, and
On Friday
yeah,
or
yeah, I'm
Saturday.
excited. 21st, whatever the 21st is. Check out
I think Saturday.
the new episode of The Mortal Red Fox will be the American dub of episode 1 with Johnny Young Bosch doing the voice of the Immortal Red Fox. So that is pretty
Mhm.
awesome. And I look forward to months and months and months from now when there's an episode that maybe Steve is in, that maybe we are in, that then months and months later gets dubbed and has
Bye. Yep.
yeah, so we will be in a project with him, all of us together, all 4 of us, but that is so far in the future.
Yeah.
Let's see. Uh, Real Babu, that's perfect. JDF, yes. And Matt can declare 21st is this Saturday. So,
Yep.
okay, so we're going to go. No new episode this week coming up.
Yep.
I will try to have a new interview up. The one, I'll even tease it. The one I'm working on is another Psycho Ranger. One of the other Psycho Rangers is what I'm working on. And if I could possibly get it done in time, I'll put it up Monday night as usual. I'll stream it on Twitch even. I'll stream it on Twitch and then put it on YouTube. But then we will be back the following week. We've talked about doing another holiday episode. We may or may not do that. We'll see how we feel. We gotta confer upon that. We haven't gotten
Honestly,
a lot of.
And we haven't talked about this formally, so this is just springing it on you
Yep.
the way you like it.
Sure.
I'm cool doing a best of 2019 Action Activate if you are down with that.
Just going down everything we liked from Power Rangers about 2019.
Just anything Action Activate adjacent, related, whatever.
Well,
just
I'll-
kind of the good old days of riffing.
I'll put this out there. I'll put it up for the comments. Not in Twitch here, but on the Facebook page, on YouTube, anywhere you could leave a permanent comment, Instagram, whatever, I don't care. Gazbot or Action Activate, any venue you put it on. Either vote for us to do our favorite Christmas episode or to just have a year in review. Either one of those, whichever gets the most votes, we'll do. If one person says one thing, that's what we're doing. If it's 100 versus 101, then 101. But whatever people want, I'm fine with either one. I will throw this out there though. The year in review could be maybe the next episode or any episode. A Christmas episode, once we're past New Year's, we're not doing it. So if you want to see another Christmas episode.
So here's why,
Yeah.
and this is incredibly biased.
Yeah.
To me, the 26th rolls around, I'm done.
See, to me, Christmas is until after New Year's. It's not Christmas, the holiday season. The holiday season is
That's
until
fair.
after New Year's. And so I wouldn't do a holiday episode after New Year's, but we have 1 week before.
I
Whereas
get it.
the year in review could be, the 7th of January, or it could be any time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just saying, to me, 2 days before New Year, perfect time for best of 2019. And also,
Either one
if
would work.
if that's the route, assuming that's what gets voted on, and the people will say what they want. Feel free to put any topics or things you want us to talk about, but knowing that if it takes an incredible amount of backlog research, we may or may not do it.
True.
Yeah.
Let me see. Matt Canoclair is guessing that the interview is probably Wally. I can either confirm nor deny. It's a reasonable guess, as that is an actor who did a voice of a Psycho Ranger, so that would fit the criteria.
Yep.
Real Babu says year in review,
Haha, Ninja Steel.
but that vote doesn't count. He has to put it in Facebook or somewhere permanent. I specifically
If
said not on
there's
Twitch.
one thing I know and that I relearned this evening,
Yeah.
it's that the Real Babu is willing to go the extra mile to solidify the troll to win.
I'm going to go to level 3 here. Level 3, if you have epilepsy, look away, because this is where we're in super flash mode. I'm in level 3. I can only maintain this for about a minute, so we got to end the show. Van Illustration is, I think he's pointing up to your review, which again would be 2 votes, except it has to be on the Facebook page, the Instagram, YouTube, somewhere we can actually count it later, because I'm not going to be able to go back and look at this later, and I'm not going to remember a week from now. Let me see. I think I missed the chat here. Let's see. Van Illustration, what are you most excited for coming in 2020, Power Ranger related or otherwise? I'm not sure if it's coming out in 2020 or 2021. I think they said 2020, but there's a new Ultraman movie, Shin Ultraman, and I'm very excited for that. For those that know, I'm also an Ultraman fan, and supposedly it's the same team that did Shin Godzilla, which I enjoyed. And the fact that Tsuburaya got all the rights back and is to just do Ultraman, I'm kind of excited to see what's going to happen. That's the only thing they've announced so far. I am, of course, excited for Beast Morphers Season 2 and the crossovers we're going to have, but to expand it further, the other thing I'm most excited about would be Ultraman and what's happening with that. there's more chat, but do you want to answer that one, Big Dog?
Yeah, I would say strictly Power Rangers wise, I would say this will probably happen toward the end of the year. But the inevitable trailer we'll get for the reboot movie, I'm sure will be quite hype. Um,
Ah.
and then honestly, this is going to be a kind of a weird one, but the Ranger Slayer figure. I've been
Oh,
waiting so
yes.
long for that
Yeah,
that like
true.
that's toward the top of my list.
That's a good one. I forgot about that. Yeah, I guess I'm excited for the new Ranger figures in the Lightning line in general, to be a little bit more vague. But the new
Yeah,
movie, I'm interested, but I'm ready to be disappointed. I guess is the best way to put it.
true.
I yeah.
What? Oh, sorry. I was gonna say one thing for when you were talking about your cosplay. I actually got a new jacket that I forgot to wear at your house the other
Oh my
day.
gosh, hold on, let me give you a
I
one
think you
shot.
might like it.
Oh, that's awesome. Where did you get that?
I didn't actually get it. My mom got it for me. She ordered it from an artist at a street fair,
Okay. Oh,
and she was like, "Oh, he'll like this," and super comfy, which is why I'm wearing it right now.
that's
And
fantastic.
yeah, I like that in terms of the Toku stuff. But
Yeah.
were there any important questions I missed?
No,
Favorite season not being Overdrive or
Oh no, we had some Ninja Steel questions, but it was handled. Don't worry. Let me see what else was someone on chat. Kyle Goldfinch, Jay Tuoku is a godsend to this community. I agree. I obviously based on my story, I agree. Matt Kendall Clare, hey all, I'm finally here to the chat. I was listening to the stream, but I had to go to the bathroom. No problem. You didn't miss much. It was mostly me just yammering on to everybody else. Kyle Goldfinch, yeah, I read the synopsis. For the movie you're talking about, for the Power Rangers movie, I guess. I know there's something
probably
out
yeah
there.
to
I haven't
see.
read it, but they say it involves time travel and or the 90s, and that does sound good because of the possibility of maybe bringing some past actors back. And I know
That'd be
actually
cool.
Jason David Frank has been talking a lot about wanting to be involved, but she always does. But I think some people like I saw a lot of posts of like, oh, this guy, why doesn't he it's like, which I didn't understand. Like, even if you don't want to see Tommy in the new movie, fine, fair, he's been in a lot of stuff, maybe you don't want to see him, but to be upset at an actor trying to get work, I don't understand that. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with him saying he wants to be in it.
I to play devil's advocate for it, I think some people might be upset because he at every turn is talking about it, whereas others do it a little less frequently.
I guess, but well, I'll devil's advocate you back. I'm not saying we have to have him in the movie. I'm not even saying I necessarily want him in the movie. But he proposes, hey, do the Lord Draken storyline, which is a really good idea, and he
Fair,
should play Lord Draken. And
100%.
he also says, and if you do that, you could bring in any Ranger you want. So he's opening the door for other people too. So again, I'm not that much of a Tommy fanboy that like we have to have him, but I'm certainly not upset that he's suggesting we do Shattered Grid, and I'm certainly not upset that he's wanting to get work. That's
Yeah.
fair to me. Let's see. Matt Kendall Clare. I was looking up all the Twitch Gazbot streams, just the long ones, and the one pre-recorded toy hunt. And apparently, counting this review, it'll add up to 42. Does that? Well, I wouldn't count the interviews because those aren't like Action Activate shows. And
I
also, I had
think
a couple art ones. I would, if we were counting to like the 50th episode of Action Activate, I would only count episodes that I think there was one I did alone that would still be an Action Activate, but actual, hey, this is
yeah.
Action Activate the show. We're talking about stuff, which I think all but one had the big dog with me.
I know. I think he's right though. I think it is roughly 42.
42?
Because if we started in like February, March,
Mm-hmm.
maybe we missed a week or two here and there.
Right.
That's still in the 40s. Like if we missed 3 months, including January, then yeah, that's roughly
Okay,
right.
well, I'll accept that. Well, then come 50, I'm not saying I'll wear the armor for 50 necessarily, but something will happen on 50. We'll do something special. I don't know what.
Yep.
Matt Claire says only as of the start of Beast Morphers reviews, that is. Okay, well, thank you for doing the math. I guess we're getting close. While we're on the subject, since we're so much preamble, we're doing this week. Next week, we're taking off for the holidays. There'll be no
Yep.
episode next week. I will try to have a new interview up. That I won't promise that, but I'm working on one and I'm close to having it done. So if I can get it done in time to put it up, since you're going to not have a new episode, at least you'll have a new interview. But there will definitely be no episode. There will be one the following week, but not this week coming up.
Yep.
So let's see. Kyle Goldfinch says JDF is an interesting guy. I haven't met him, but I find him interesting. I've met him a few times. He's always been super nice to me. He's given me free autographs. I met him professionally when he was helping run the con. He made a point of coming and saying hi to everybody, shaking everybody's hands. I've heard stories where maybe he wasn't as nice, but I've met him 3 times, and all 3 times he's been a perfect gentleman, polite, and gone out of his way to be nice to me. So from my own personal experiences, I have nothing bad to say about him.
What I will say,
Yeah.
because Gaz is a very modest individual at times, is in terms of the JDF interactions, Gaz is one of the few artists I know, and there's probably some number somewhere, where JDF actually was like selling his art at a con, and that to me is a big like professional crossover-y Ranger thing in my book.
True. Yes, I wasn't gonna bring that up, but obviously that was a positive interaction I had with him, that he liked my art enough to want to have it at his table and stuff. So
Well, I
yeah.
think it actually works better for you because I'm sure a lot of the Ranger actors get hit up by different people. Hey, let's work together in this.
Right.
And especially him being so prominent. I mean, you did everything you were supposed to do, ready for him to say no. And
Yeah.
he said yes, and it worked out for the both of you.
Yeah.
And you found out that there are things such as disposable voicemails.
Yes, because it wasn't okay, but it's a good thing this episode is short. I was saying we're probably gonna put all this at the end because on YouTube I like to have the review first. So whatever,
Yeah.
we'll just keep. Well, this is the end of the show essentially for the YouTube viewer.
Hey, thanks for joining.
But I got, it wasn't a voicemail, it was like a voice message like through text. And I didn't know he was going to do this. And he was like, hey, Gaz, what's up? It's JDF, blah, 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 blah. I love your art, da, da, da. And like this awesome message, unsolicited. I was like, that was great. And this was before I was so doing the shows. Like now I've met a lot of actors. It's still awesome, but I'm a little less starstruck by it. And they're more like regular people to me a little bit. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was at my sibling's house in Delaware. And I was like, listen to this. And I played it for them. And then I went to play it for my mom or someone else a few minutes later. And it wasn't there because apparently these audio messages, by default on the iPhone, which is what I have, after you play them, they automatically delete after like 5 minutes, unless you change the settings. The automatic settings they delete. I had no idea. I'd never gotten one of these before. So I got the best one I could possibly get, and it deleted itself. And I was like, ah. But it all worked out for the best.
You've got to share the story so many times.
Yes, it's true. It's true. But anyway, that was my second encounter with Mr. Jason David Frank. My first one was just as a fan at Comic-Con where he just took a free picture with me and was cool. And the third one was where I was tabling at a show he was helping run. Like I said, he came by in more of a shake, hey, how'd the show go? Give me a handshake. So I've met him as a fan. I've met him as sort of a fan collaborator, sort of professional thing. And I've met him as like, for lack of a better term, a coworker. I know that sounds pretentious, but I can't think of a better way to put it. And all three times he was good to me. But we're getting way off topic and we're missing a lot of chat. Matt Kendall Clare said, yeah, I didn't count the interviews except for Steve. Yeah, I would count Steve and I would count Matt Palmer because those were actual episodes. But the sort of the man on the street 7-minute interviews, I wouldn't count those as episodes. Since that was part of the show. Exactly, Matt Kendall Clare. Real Babu, 42 is the answer, but what's the question? Yes, for those that don't know, that is also the answer to what is the meaning of life. That is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's not a very good answer, but it's catchy and it's pithy and, short. And,
it works for today's episode.
Yes, it does. Matt Kendall Clare, Real Babu, I was bored, so I had to look it up once it was brought up last week. I like to be a Ranger Nation nerd. Nice. So, thank you very much for everyone that's here. If we don't see you again before the holidays, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. Enjoy the whole season. If you don't follow any particular stuff, just enjoy the decorations and enjoy that everyone's being a little bit nicer, hopefully. And we will see you back next week for something. Or no, we will see you back in 2 weeks for something that you will vote
There
on.
you go.
So, I have been Gazbot. And with me over here,
the ever festive Big Dawg Defender.
Festive. All right, I'm going to go to what do we end with? The credits.
Are we going to talk over them this week? Who is to say? Oh, they already started. Looks like we're going to have to roll a bit.
I'm going to put some, there's some bells. I put the bells on everything. That's how you know it's Christmas time. Bells.
No, that's just the chain that you have on your wallet.
That's very loud. It's scraping on the ground. I'm like a janitor. Look at me go. I burp farting. Who knows? Maybe we'll do a new intro for season 2. I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself.
That'd be kind of cool. We actually have to think about that, but I'm down.
And we're out of time. Goodbye, everyone. See you in 2 weeks. Hey, it's me, Gazbot. Let me turn off these little jingle bells. Welcome to the show. Happy holidays to all the peoples out there. As you know, this is Action Activate, and we're going to talk about Power Rangers specifically this week, this day, this moment. We're going to be talking about Beast Morphers, the final episode of Season 1, which is Scrozzle's Revenge, which is the Christmas episode for 2019. Now, with me as always, not though, is the Big Dawg Defender. He will be here shortly. He's running late. We were already starting late, so I wanted to just get going, chat with you fine folks until he arrives here, and I figured that'd be just fine and dandy. As you can see, I am the Mighty Morphin Gazbot today. I got my power necklace of light and my Red Ranger shielded Santa cloak, as well as the command center is all decked out. We're in full Christmas holiday mode here at the Gazbot lair, and I see that we got a couple people hanging out in chat already, so thank you for joining us live. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, well, thank you for that as well. Comments are always appreciated there. So what is going on? Well, as I said, the Big Dawg is running a few minutes late. We will be going over the show momentarily. One thing I wanted to talk about. Hello, Real Babu. One thing I wanted to talk about is last week the opening shout out was from Justin Nemo in Space Silver Red, and I didn't even mention that. And I met him at Ranger Stop this year in Orlando, and we had an interview which is up on the YouTube channel, so you can check that if you haven't. I've also linked it to the Facebook group, but he gave us that nice shout out, and I didn't even mention him, so I felt bad about that. Hello, Van Illustration. Welcome aboard. We are getting ready to go. This is sort of the pre-show till the Big Dawg shows up, and we'll be talking about the actual Christmas episode. But a little shameless plug. Going back to Justin Nemo and In Space Silver, the featured art for this week, I'll go to the Power Rangers show. You can see up here is a little featured art, and that is of a sticker I did, which is right here, of In Space Silver. It's a holographic vinyl sticker. It's the kind you could put on a car and it can be rained on. It'll still work. And I have these on my Etsy store right now if you're interested in them. So, a little double promotion thanks to Justin Nemo. And hey, check out my stickers. So there's that. So what's going on with you guys? Anybody have any questions, comments, concerns regarding Power Rangers, regarding the holidays, regarding anything, while we have a few minutes to just chat about whatever until the Big Dawg gets here? I'm going to actually, I realized I just checked because I don't have my thing open. He could be able to sing right now, hey, let me in, because I have to give him an invite. All right, so he will be here in a few minutes. He confirms. Meanwhile, while I'm waiting for him to see if you guys have anything to say, oops, I was going to show you my little snowman, but I can't. But what I can do is show you, I got this a while ago, but I just fixed it. This is my Shinken Red SH Figure Arts or Samurai Red Jaden, and the leg had broken off completely in transit. I didn't push it or anything, it just snapped off. I had the same thing happen to another one of my Figure Arts. There's something about, I don't know, maybe the temperature difference when it's on the moving truck, and it broke off. But I was at a flea market type place, not a flea market, it was like kind of a vintage store, and they had a busted up SH Figure Arts of Shinken Red missing a head with the Ninja Storm hands, and he was missing his weapons and everything, but it was $5. So for $5, I bought it and took everything off and was able to get my guy back in perfect shape. So I was pretty happy about that, and I just recently did that. Real Babu, does Big Dawg have something to show us later? He does have something to show us later. At my house, we have a holiday party every year, and we had that this past weekend. The Big Dawg came, and I passed something on to him that was given to me from Real Babu at the aforementioned Ranger Stop. Real Babu gave me something as well, which I unfortunately don't have to show right now. But we could talk about it. The Big Dawg one is more interesting than mine, to be honest. Yeah, sorry. Okay, yep, Big Dawg is still on his way. I'm going to throw him another invite real quick so he could jump on as soon as he gets here. And see what we'll go to the Power Rangers show proper. And as you can see, I have the temporary Big Dawg Defender AFK up here. Woof, woof. So if anyone wants to ask about Operation Overdrive or not Ninja Storm, Ninja Steel, you can ask about Ninja Storm too, but Ninja Steel is, more something he knows a lot about. We could ask the AFK Defender. So according to him, he will be here very shortly. And again, I didn't even have that much to say. I wanted to talk about Justin Nemo and show off my, accoutrement. But other than that, I just figured, why not start the chat, get it going. I want to show you my little snowman. Let me see. Okay, if you get sick easily, look away for a second. I'm going to move this. I got this last year on clearance. It's just a little USB snowman, and he changes colors. I think he's really neat. It was one of those things where he was like $10, but then he was on clearance. I got him for $3. Not that it matters. Not that it's Power Rangery, but just one more thing I got going on the command center here. I'm calling it the command center. I'm calling it the lair. I'm calling it the cat base. I'm going to put this up. No, I'm not. That's terrible. This is what happens when the Big Dawg isn't here. I just go off the rails. This thing is awesome to wear, but not with the hood up. Kyle Goldfinch, Paranormal Activity Gazbot. Yes, Exactly, or Blair Witch Gazbot. I try not to do that too much. I always like to show stuff off, but actually I can show you this too. This is not new, but I just put it out recently. This is SH Figure Arts of Shinken Gold, aka Samurai Gold, as we all know if you've been watching. One of my favorite Rangers, Antonio. Now, granted, this is technically the Japanese version, but I just recently put that up. I moved, for those that don't know, I moved about 2 years ago, and I'm still slowly. Most of my collection is up. There's a few things that keep getting put up that got lost in a box, or like the Red Ranger was broken, things like that. When it comes to the YouTube version, I'll probably take all of this and put it at the end because I like to start the YouTube ones with the show review. So sometimes you guys get stuff that isn't going to go into the YouTube video at all. Sometimes I cut it out, put it at the end, and yeah, this is this is one of those. Kyle Goldfinch, dude, we still need you suit up as the Gold Samurai Ranger on the show. I will probably do that one day, maybe for an anniversary episode of ours, maybe the 50th or the 100th episode, something like that. I give you my word, I will do that someday. I'm not going to commit to exactly when, but I'll do it. The only problem is I don't know how long that show could be because I've worn that suit and it's more comfortable standing up than sitting down, and it gets hot, especially in a closed-off room like this with the light on me and stuff. So I will absolutely do it. I just don't know when. And actually, weirdly enough, I have two helmets, two Samurai Gold helmets. I don't know if I ever talked about this. It's a long story, but basically I ordered a helmet from Aniki, and he had said, or they, I know it's like a company, had said that they could do chrome for the first time in a while because they were doing this for the Metal Heroes, and they had chrome gold. And that's what I was like, oh, I love chrome. They got the Gold Ranger. I'm going to do it. And I put the deposit down, which was half of whatever it was at the time, which was not cheap. And they said they'd have it for me that Halloween. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll put together a costume, but at the very least I'll have it for Halloween. And I didn't get it for Halloween. I didn't get it for Christmas. I didn't get it for next Halloween. It took, I think, a year and a half to get it, with tons of emails back and forth and like seemingly lying to me and whatever. But eventually I got it. But in the meantime, I went to J Toku Cosplay and got the full armor suit out of foam, figuring I'll put the two together. And I was waiting for the helmet, and there was a convention coming up that I was doing. I was working, selling art, that Steven Skyler, who plays Antonio the Gold Ranger, was going to be there. And so I was like, well, I have the suit, but I don't have the helmet. That's like, I could leave my booth for a little while and wear it and get a picture with him and stuff, which, spoilers, I did, and it was awesome, and he was great, and we got in the newspaper, and it was everything. It was the best experience ever. But I had no helmet, so I asked J Toku, can you make me a helmet? They said yes, but it's going to be foam, and it's going to be not as chromy. It'll be different than what you get from Aniki. It was cheaper. It was cheaper cost, lesser quality, although still very good. It was just the difference between like a stunt helmet that maybe somebody would use when they're doing martial arts versus like the perfect hero helmet you see in the hero shots. And it was quicker because they got it to me after I got my armor shipped. They got my helmet order in and shipped out to me still before Aniki did, and I had it for the show. And it's a little bit lesser because it has like a zipper up the back, and I was able to pull it off and put it back on. So they saved my butt. And also, I had a problem with the calf armor. Even though I sent my measurements, the calves were too big. I'm big compared to an Asian on average, I guess, and my calves are big even for like a American. I got like these kind of Popeye calves, and I think
they're like bulls.
Oh my God, he's here. And I think that they didn't. Oops, that's not it. I think that they didn't believe that was like the right size or something because they just made them too small. Let me turn off the away. Where is it? Sorry, I want to turn off. You're just a picture of a big dog helmet right now.
That's me in a nutshell.
In a nutshell. There you go. Oh, you are very small. Let me bigify you.
Is that better?
No, it's not you. It's me. You just ruined it. Now you're down on the bottom. Put it back where it was. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so just to finish the story, they gave me new shin guards too at no cost. They shipped them back out like with the proper size and stuff. So J Toku, thumbs up. Aniki, thumbs down. Quality's good. Customer service is terrible. But J Toku I have nothing bad to say about.